Hi, this is Mike with Gaminghobbyist. I've been into games most of my life, video games, board games, card games. So I decided to make a video series about enjoyment of games. I wanted to for the first video, I wanted to share with you one of my favorite games. I've been playing it for, well, I started playing it about 25 years ago. It's Magic the Gathering. I played it back in college and played it 3-4 years back then, and haven't played it really a whole lot since. I picked it up a little bit 10 years ago and a little bit more about 5 years ago. But mostly, my cards have been sitting in these two boxes for the last 25 years. And it says right there, Magic. And I thought I'd open it up and share with you what I have and, bring back some fun. My Magic cards. This is how I stored them for 25 years. I've got a few other games in here too. This is basically an old school comic book box. Here, in here, well, let's go through all this right here. In here is primarily a bunch of other games. This is a maybe Japanese version of, I think, 4th edition. I had some Jihad, some Rage, some Netrunner, Wyvern, some Star Wars stuff. Move this out of the way. Oh yeah, check that out. Old school Scry magazines. So this is an unlimited edition box. We got some Mirage. These, I believe, are just some old play decks. I'm just kind of putting these aside as I take them out. This is an old tournament deck that I played. This guy. I'll show that to you later. Look at these. Scry. This is there's no date on this one. I don't know why. This one's dated April, May 1995. July, August 95. So these are old school. Look at this. This is a old school rules from an old gaming shop that I played at. Dated 4/19/95. Alright, this is, what do we got here? Old book. Old Magic book. So this is the bulk of my cards that I played with. The majority of the time. I organize them by color, and then I separate them between creatures and non-creatures. I'll open them up a little bit for you and show you what we've got. Alright. Let's show some blue-green spells. So I kept everything in these little plastic packs. What do we got in here? So these are creatures. I organized them alphabetically, starting with the non-creature spells, and then creature spells, more creature. Danger is this thing opens and then potentially pinch the cards over here. These are starting in the green non-creatures, I believe. Yep. And basically, I kind of mixed different sets. So here, this top card, I believe, is a Homelands. I got some dark. That is a legend, I believe. some Ice Age. A lot, probably half of this stuff is revised. Boomerang, that's Legends, I believe. Wait. This is a 4th edition, okay. Or is it, I'm not sure which one that is. I'll have to look it up. Control Magic. Now a lot of these are well played. This one's pretty dirty. This one's much cleaner. Counterspell. So that's the general idea here. I don't think I'm going to go through each and every card because that will take for freaking ever. I'm going to probably reorganize this, separate them all. Probably make sure that, or you know, separate all the cards from the same set. You know, here we've got some white cards and then lands. This one is green creatures and all the red cards. And this one's artifacts in black. Now we got white, more white, more white. This is what I want to pull out. These are all basically the special lands. I don't think there's any regular lands in here. Oh, there is. There's a few. I've got some German lands. But, of course, the good stuff's right up on top. Right here. Multi-lands. Dual lands. Whatever you want to call them. 2 volcanic islands. We've got 4 plateaus. 1 underground sea. This is 2 savannas. One, I believe, is a German savanna. This looks like a unlimited scrubland. And I've got 2 revised scrublands. My unlimited collection is very limited. It's not unlimited, quite limited. 2 tropical islands. 2 taigas, 1 tundra, 2 bayous, and 3 badlands. So that is my collection of multi-lands. Now, I only opened probably a pack and a half of, I'm sorry, not a pack and a half, a box and a half of revised, maybe 2 boxes. I bought one box in its entirety, and then back when I was playing, I basically bought a few packs at a time. Now, to have this many multi-lands, I must have been purchasing them separately, individually. I don't remember actually doing that, but my understanding is you only get a couple per box. And I think I've got, how many do I have? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19, 20, 22. 22 multi-lands. So I probably bought the majority of these after the fact. And I bought these back in, 2000, or sorry, 1994, 1995, and maybe 1996. So most of these were probably bought at about $10 each. Obviously, I wish I had bought more, like as much as I could possibly get my hands on. But, if we could all predict the future, then, you know, I don't know what would happen then. Things would change. So I'm not sure. Most of these, this one's in decent shape. Most of these have been, probably all of them have been played. Most of them have dirt on them. That one's pretty nice right here, unless it's bent. There's a little bit of bend on that. That's no good. Okay. Scrubland. This scrubland's really nice too. A little bit of dirt in the corner. But yeah, backside. Some of these are fairly well played. Lots of dirt on some of these. Volcanic Island's pretty good. I'm sorry, Underground Sea. Volcanic Island, Plateaus. I like to play red and white back in the day. Those were probably my two favorite colors. So some of those had some decent mileage on them. So the other lands, I would say nothing too fancy. Pendelhaven, Hammerheim. So a few lands from Legendera. City Brass from Antiquities, maybe. No, this is a reprint. Shows 1995. I think I forget. I didn't have very many Antiquities cards. I might have like 2, but I thought they were black bordered. A bunch of strip mines. Mishra's Factories, some German. These are German. Mishra's Factories. And what are these? These are Ice Age lands. Probably nothing special with those. I think this one is Homelands. I basically had, my primary collection consists of Revised, The Dark, Fallen Empires, Ice Age, and Homelands. Now that's an original Desert. I skipped a few cards. Oasis. Oh, this is a possibly, actually that's a reprint. Maze of Ith from the Dark. So anyway, a bunch of specialty lands here. I've got some German Swamp. Good stuff like that. See what else. Whoa. Just throw a couple $1,000 cards around. There we go. Alright, what else do we have? I had this other box as well. Now this is filled with almost primarily all revised. I think they're all revised commons, and I probably had, you know, in the white boxes I had 4 of each, and then these are probably the excess to the 4 of each. Now something, this is funny, something I did back in the day is I wanted to build decks, but I didn't necessarily have all the cards for those decks, or maybe they were, certain cards were in other decks that I didn't want to take apart at the time. So I took all these lands and I wrote what card I wanted to play with. All on these lands. There's probably 100 lands that I did this with. So, pretending that those are multi-lands. You know, it's silly things, you know. Didn't, you know, these aren't worth that much, but, you know, it is like 100 lands. That some of them are fine. But, yeah, about 100 lands or so that basically I unknowingly destroyed something that could be of value. What do we have here? Oh, yeah. So this is Fallen Empires. Is this Fallen Empires? Yeah, it's Fallen Empires. Okay, so full Fallen Empires common set, 4 of each card, every picture. I had planned on selling this off at some point and just never did. Still probably not really actually worth anything. I think these are just excess lands. What do we got here? These are the dark. Possibly excess commons, I'm not sure. I'll have to look into what this set is here. Because I had the commons mixed in my white boxes. Let's see if there's anything underneath. Oh, yep. So there's my homelands, and which one's this? This is probably Fallen Empires, I think. Yeah, Fallen Empires. Filled with a bunch of cards. Probably, are these lands? No, these are actual cards. Possibly excess commons again. But these probably are effectively packed fresh. You know, once I figured out what I had, I separated them. And these have probably never been played. This little Ice Age starter. What do we got in here? Possibly a deck. I would put decks face to face. What the heck is that? Oh, 8th edition. That's interesting. So I played, I have no idea what that is. Or some of these. I'll have to look, oh, and I'm using the revised lands. So, what, I played mostly 25 years ago in the mid-90s, and then probably 10-ish years ago, whenever these were out there, or whenever these were released. I have no idea what set these are. You know, I bought a few cards, as you can see, and played for a little bit, not too much. And then again, I probably 5 years ago, I bought some other cards, primarily the 2014 core set. I bought about a box and a half of that, just to play with, have some fun with my nephews. Some Netrunner cards, that's interesting. This is probably 4th edition. Regular 4th edition. Let's see what's in this Homelands box, if there's anything interesting. Probably just a bunch of Homelands cards, and also probably commons. Alright, let's get some of this out of the way. I'll put this back. There's a couple more things I want to show you. this and this. Let's take a look at my old tournament deck first. So I had, again, simply kept in these boxes. Had a bunch of counters and dice. But yeah, this was how I stored all my cards back in you know, the mid '90s. Didn't ever use sleeves. It's kind of crazy, considering, you know, the value of some of these cards today. But this is basically a red burn deck. I had these creatures, which you wouldn't think would go in a tournament deck. Cannot be assigned to block any creature power greater than 1. A lot of these had that. A lot of these orcs would have that restriction on them. But the reason I put them there is they were 3 attack with only 3 casting costs, and back in the day, before all the power creep, that was actually pretty amazing. It was very difficult to get that in cards. I had a lot of direct damage, and the plan of this deck was to ensure that my opponent doesn't have creatures, so that creatures like this can attack and you know, without really worrying about my opponent. I had the Ursa's Lands in here for mana boost. I did that. Ball Lightning from the dark. Org, we'll talk about that in a minute. I did that because I've got oh, here we go. Somewhere in here is a Fireball and Disintegrate. 4 fireballs, 4 disintegrates. It really boosted these Ursa's Lands really boosted the power of Fireball and Disintegrate. So those are in there. Ruby Mox. It's actually a pretty nice one. But yeah, just played without a sleeve. It's got some wear on the back. Ball Lightning, there's the Ball Lightning. Incinerate. Chain Lightning. Disintegrate. Clay Statue. Now, occasionally someone would have Circle Protection Red in their sidebar. So in case they did, I had a few artifact creatures in my deck that basically, potentially that was the only way that I could do damage to them if they were careful with their Circle Protection and their mana usage. But a whole lot of direct damage spells. Soul Ring for early mana boost. Another Clay Statue, Lightning Bolt, Incinerate, Iron Claw Orcs, Fireball, Candelabra of Tawnos. I actually, so I played this tournament deck and I got to the finals and I missed killing my opponent by 1 life. The final score was 1-0, 1 life to 0 life. And it was game 3 out of best of 3. And so he beat me. The first place prize was a complete box of the Dark. And second place prize was, I believe, $40 in-store credit. And I picked this up after the fact with my in-store credit. And that was a good pickup. I think that's around $900 today. These are the 2 most valuable cards in here. Honestly, the rest are pretty low value cards. Time Bomb, I threw that one in after the fact as well. Basically it's a creature destruction card. You know, in case things get out of hand for me, it basically destroys everything. Dwarven Catapult. So yeah. Oh yeah, Org. I like the Org. 5 casting cost, 6/6 creature. He's got trample. Org may not attack if opponent controls an untapped creature of power greater than 2. Org cannot be assigned to block any creature of power greater than 2. So again, my plan was to not have my opponents have creatures. So actually, this was a very effective card with this deck. Now today, you know, with all the new cards out there, I doubt this deck would go very far in today's tournaments. But it was it got me to the finals in what, probably 95 or 96. I'll probably put those in sleeves once I, you know, organize some of this stuff better. Broken box. All right, this, it turns out, this is not all unlimited. We've got 2 unlimited cards, Lord of Atlantis and another Badlands, which is in beautiful shape. The rest is beta cards, and I kind of don't remember ever purchasing beta cards. And why are the beta cards in my in an unlimited box? I have no idea, but yeah, it's a full set of beta. Somewhere, I think the most valuable card here. Now, I looked through this recently, and there weren't any rares in here, so I don't understand. I don't know why not, where they went. These are basically pack fresh, though. These, you know, they feel so nice. So Lightning Bolt, I think that's worth $300 today. It's the most expensive common card in the beta set. But that is my collection. I hope you enjoyed looking at it, and you know, hope you enjoy future videos. Thank you very much. This is Mike with Gaming Hobbyist.